We went to a vegan restaurant and things got weird.
Let's talk about that.
My name's Emma Folkerts and I'm in Rome, Italy. Good Mythical Morning.
Good Mythical Morning!
Today's episode is brought to you by the Rhett and Link store. Go to RhettandLink.com/store.
Bam! You can get this t-shirt! I'm still here. T-shirt, me, t-shirt, me.
It's kind of talking kind of funny.
Who, me?
Well, I started talking funny and then you started talking funny.
Yeah, we're going to keep talking funny and then morphing it. Okay. All right, guys. We got an experience to share with you. And I'll just go ahead and say right off the top here that for all of you vegans watching, we love you.
Just stop watching now.
We love you. So we're all friends here. This is a safe environment for us to share, all of us, not just us, but you in the comments, your experiences with whatever that may be. And if that's vegan restaurants or something like that, then so be it.
Okay, so we decided we don't go see a lot of movies, but we have a friend, Joseph, who we go and watch movies with. I don't know how this happened, but we've been seeing a lot of movies together.
And another friend, Eric, too.
Yes,
he's
but
also
he came to the restaurant late.
Yeah, so he doesn't count.
He doesn't count at this point. So anyway, so we're like, hey, let's go eat somewhere, and then we're gonna go watch the new Bond movie. Mm-hmm. And it was a couple of nights ago, and so he's like, yeah, there's this place that's got this home cooking.
Because we're going to Hollywood.
Yeah.
And this was his area. So we left it to Joseph to figure out where we were going to eat.
And it's
his zone.
He's like, there's this place down there, it's like comfort food, home cooking, and we're like, that sounds good. But then we meet up with him, he says, you know what? I'm looking at the Yelp reviews of that other place I wanted to go, and they've really gone down. They're really tanking in the last few months. But there's this other place that says comfort food, home cooking kind of situation.
Over 200 reviews, four stars. We're like, yes. Better comfort food just a few blocks away. We can get a little exercise going there and not feel as guilty.
Yep.
Being comforted with food.
Yep. Looking forward to it.
It's a perfect scenario. So we walked a few blocks. We encounter a homeless man singing Beatles.
Yeah, and he got mad at us because we weren't singing. He says, "Don't y'all know the Beatles?"
And I was like, yes.
"Come on,
yes.
Don't y'all know the Beatles?"
I know the Beatles. He's like, "You're younger than me." I do know the Beatles,
but we usually just don't start singing with strange people. That's the difference.
We never really discussed that until now.
I was just thinking it though.
Yeah, we were both thinking.
So we get to the restaurant and we go in there, and this place, there's not a lot of people in there. But I'm like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, it's kind of early. We get the menu. I look at the menu, and I'm like, man,
this looks good.
Country fried steak,
fried chicken, barbecue sandwiches.
I'm like, this place, yeah, right in the middle of Hollywood. I mean, talk about home cooking. And then Link speaks up.
Fish tacos.
Link says, hold on, there's something.
Beef tacos.
There's some carnitas.
Carnitas.
He says, there's something written here in fine print up here on the top of the menu. And what did it say, Link?
It said, everything that we prepare is 100% vegan. And I'm like, what does that mean? Vegan? I don't know what that means.
Well, I think we know what that means.
I know. How could it not have meat in it? Everything on the menu is like a meat cornerstone. Well, everything we just listed.
But it was all fake.
It doesn't work without meat.
It was a facade. And at that moment, we had a decision to make. It was like, we've been thinking about coming and getting some comfort food all day. And now we're in an uncomfortable situation with this comfort food because this comfort food is fake food. But we said,
so the decision was just dive in or like run for the exit?
Yeah. But we all agreed, listen, we're here. We're adventurous.
The reviews are high.
I got nothing against vegan food. You know, I like to eat meals that don't have any meat in them. It makes me feel better about myself.
It's an adventure.
Yeah.
It's an adventure. So the waiter comes up and we're like, what do you recommend? And he's like, well, the barbecue sandwich is great. Pulled pork sandwich. Like, okay, but it's not, there's no, I didn't ask him, but I was like, well, there's no pork in it.
Well, it's fake pork.
But he just carried on the pulled pork sandwich is great. He didn't say the non-pork pulled pork sandwich is great.
Well, because they bought, that's the whole point of the restaurant, is to just buy into the fact that this is all real in this fantasy world that we've created.
And then he said, the pot roast is amazing, that's my favorite. He didn't say the non-pot roast. Of course, that would have made sense anyway.
Yep.
He didn't say the non-beef pot roast. He just said the pot roast is my favorite, but everyone raves about the fried chicken. People come in here and order fried chicken 10 times in a row. That's all they come in here to eat. And so then we say, yes, yes, and yes. We each get one of those things.
So I ordered the pot roast, Joseph ordered the pulled pork sandwich, and Link ordered the fried chicken. Now, at this moment when we're waiting for our food, is when I think all of us have noticed a couple of times there's a guy at the table directly behind us.
Well, yeah, he was right behind you. I thought it was you. I heard a sound. Wasn't that what it was like?
It was like when you've got a cold and you've got a lot of mucus and you keep trying to clear your throat. He's like,
I thought it, and I looked at you because the sound was coming from you.
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is not pleasant. I'm eating. I'm about to eat. I'm not eating, and I'm eating fake pot roast in a second. You know, I'm gonna need everything I got to get through this.
Right.
And there's a guy behind me.
It's not an appetizing sound.
I'm not. He sounded like a monkey. I'm not. Or like an orangutan about to pounce. I don't know what they sound like.
I could not see the guy. All I could do was hear him. And then we're waiting our food. And at first we didn't say anything. And I think Joseph was talking in the middle of his sentence. At one point he stopped. He was like, "I am very distracted."
No, he was like, that guy is killing me. and because he would go about 30 to 45 seconds and do it again. And I was like, well, this is what it's going to be. This is what this experience is going to be. It's going to be this guy going.
And then meat food. So then the waiter brings out the food, and it looks absolutely
it
amazing.
Looks like pot roast and fried chicken and a
barbecue
pulled
pork sandwich.
Let me tell you, it looks like it.
And I had a chicken leg and a chicken thigh and mashed potatoes and a corn.
Yours
on the plate.
especially. I mean, it's easy to make
corn on cob.
It's easy to make pot roast because you can throw all the vegan gravy on it, and it's not that hard to make because the sandwich is kind of hiding the pork. But yours is like
bam,
fried chicken just out in the open, laid bare. Boom, fried chicken, and it looked exactly like fried chicken. I mean,
and was it like this?
Boom. And of course, in the middle of me admiring your chicken,
what a weird experience.
It's like he didn't know how much noise he was sending, like a bass reverberation throughout the whole restaurant. I mean, and he was right behind me.
So I bite into my chicken, and I'm like thinking, this is good. 1, and then I'm thinking 2. Take another bite. This is chicken. And I looked at the guy and was like, fellas, this is chicken.
I remember Link looks at me, he says, there's no way that this is not actually chicken. And then he says, in fact, there's a bone in it.
There was a bone in my chicken.
And then he says, hold on a second. He reaches in, pulls out a wooden dowel rod.
A simulated bone in my chicken leg.
They had built vegan chicken around a piece of wood.
It was amazing. It was a dowel rod with pieces of fake meat, like white meat, kind of, I don't know, soy something or other. I was afraid to ask. I never ask. Wrapped around a dowel rod in the shape of a drumstick. And then there was fake skin wrapped around it, which is gross, almost naughty sounding.
Cartilage?
No, like fake chicken skin. And then all that was fried. But, I mean, I thought it was gross that it was fake skin, but really, if you think about it, real chicken skin is gross. Imitation chicken skin is not as gross. So I was like, okay, I'll just eat all of this. But it was totally simulated.
But you liked it.
And I liked it.
It was good.
As far as vegan food goes, it was tops.
Now, I'm over there, I got my pot roast. I really wish I'd have gotten the chicken. Bam! And then I look at the pot roast, and I'm like, well, it looks like pot roast, and I kind of put my fork into one of the pieces of meat, and I can tell as it goes in that it's
boing.
meat.
It was kind of boing.
Like a piece of sponge.
Boing.
Take it. I'm like, well, the gravy tastes good. And then I eat it, and I'm like, okay, this is not meat. I know that it's not meat, but it's got a lot of gravy on it. I'm going to do this.
It needed fake bamboo bones is what it needed.
But in the middle of trying to get that first piece down, it was like, what was he trying to do? I think he had a disorder. You think he had a disorder? No, I think he just had a really bad cold.
I don't know. And so we're wrapping up our meal, and I needed another glass of water, and then all of a sudden I see the guy, the Grunter, stand up from behind Rhett, and I think he's just walking to the restroom. He walks by our table, stops, turns, looks at us and says, "Can I get you guys anything else?"
Can I get you what I've been hawking up this whole time? Oh, there it is.
And we were like, "Do you work here?"
Yeah,
He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, I'll take some water."
But he
worked there.
But when he spoke, you could tell that he had a bad cold. He like had a croupy cough kind of thing. Oh, no, it's like that. Can I get you anything else?
So all this should go in our Yelp review, huh? Should we say the name of the place? I don't feel like we should.
Let's withhold that. But I will say, as we wrap this episode up, that it was an okay experience. But I think that the one thing we learned is that you have to take the Yelp ratings for a vegan place. It's a different scale, because if you're not a vegan, you have to knock off like 2 stars, because this is a bunch of vegans rating the place.
Yeah, as far as vegan food goes, I would give it 5 stars.
Really?
Minus the Grunter, which I assume is not behind every dining table.
1 star off for the Grunter, assuming that he's not there every time. 1 star off for the fact that it's fake food. 3 stars.
3 stars we give it. Are we going to turn this into like a Yelp review show? That could be a new thing that
maybe people will start watching.
No one would watch. A blue place! Wham! Write letters to each other. What?
Link, 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 link. Link, 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 link.
To Rhett.
Over the years as friends, we've been through so much. And that is why I'm writing this letter.
I didn't eat breakfast this morning. Are you cool with us going to lunch early?
If I developed some inexplicable rash or started hearing voices in my head, you'd be one of the first people to know.
I don't really want a burger, and I had tacos last night for dinner.
If I ever have an embarrassing question like, what is dubstep? I always know it's safe to ask you.
Let's not do chicken either, or anything fried, or vegan.
So what I want you to know is...
I'm thinking pizza. From Link.
I'd like pizza for lunch. Sincerely, Rhett.